Welcome to Spill the Real podcast, the Margarita Book Club for women in their 40s navigating midlife, motherhood, marriage, and that nagging feeling that you should have life figured out by now but don't.
We're two 40-something moms of teenagers, married for years, probably in perimenopause, and still trying to lose the same 20 pounds we've been fighting for a decade.
This isn't about having all of the answers. It's about spilling the real conversations as we wish someone had with us sooner.
So grab a margarita or a coffee and let's spill the real.
Welcome.
Welcome, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome.
We are diving in today's episode. You know, I always use the word dive. Why do I do that? It's just like now it's in my vocabulary for all podcasts.
We'll just start hashtagging. Dive right in.
Dive right in. So today's episode is probably going to be one of your favorites because we talk about this a lot and you're very passionate about it.
I'm a little bit farther along in it than you are too. So I'm a little salty about that, but that's okay. I'm just getting her ready, just preparing her.
And I need that mentorship.
I don't really want to be the mentor, but
all right, today's title is There's a Pregame to Menopause.
Perry, who?
What?
What?
So before we explore this, you know, we always love to do a real talk question just to kind of kick us off.
Yep.
And so because I feel like you are going to have a crazier one than I do. So I'm going to, hit the ball to you. You like that sports analogy?
Yeah, I do.
What is the craziest symptom that you have experienced or heard that you had, that you had no idea was related to premenopause?
That would be the itchy ear canals.
Tell me more.
Last year, I remember being in my classroom, walking around teaching, and just being like, "Why are my ears itching?" Like, just literally, like, I want to just claw my ears, and I had no idea. I didn't think about it. No, then this role, fast forward to me digging into more of these symptoms, and it's a real thing. It's a real symptom. And I did because I'm like, what? Why? Like, that's so weird. So weird that Neil Hayden questioned that was even a symptom. And he had some women coming back at him, like on one of our posts. Yes, sir, it is. So it has to go, it goes to the dry skin. Dry skin, and just that loss of collagen in your ears is skin, and so itchy. Like, you're not like you're sitting there putting lotion in them or whatever.
Okay, so
natural oils and all that.
My question to you about that is, when your ears randomly started like itching in school, right? When you were, because you're a teacher, so when they're randomly itching at school, did you think this is premenopause?
No.
So what made you think that to even look it up?
I'd never looked it up. I was watching like a doctor that I watch, or just, I can't remember which one it was now, that just one of these random, a reel. Of course, I saw it on social media. And they were talking about different perimenopause symptoms, and they said itchy ears, and I was like,
oh. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Well, how you described it and the dry and all that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just, and so that loss of collagen, natural oils, all of that can make your ear. But the weird thing, it was like both of them would be itching at the same time, and it was like I could, it's like hard to scratch the inside of your ears. Right. So I'd be like,
And they wonder why women are deemed crazy around this time. Yeah, crazy person. So I'm going to say mine is not crazy. Mine is very, very common, but one that I don't know that I associate it with premenopause until, again, just through our conversations and, my other friends who are older than me conversations. I'm going to throw that out there. And just for the record, before I even say what I'm going to say, for the record, I quoted myself on another previous episode as saying I was 42. I have since learned I am only 41.
The fact that you don't remember, you're in it. You're in it. Mark that symptom down. Brain fog. Marking that one down as brain fog.
Anyways,
just a spring chicken.
Just a spring chicken. But I undergo a lot of stress. And so I always thought me literally waking up, and I'm not joking when I say I will look at the clock every night and it's 3 a.m. It's a real thing.
It is.
It's a real thing.
It is. Mine's 3:30. Somewhere in the 3:30-ish range is where mine usually is.
Mine is always 3 a.m. And there for a while, I haven't done it. It kind of ebbs and flows. Mm-hmm. And I just thought I never linked that back to like premenopause. I linked it back to like, man, I'm stressed. I can't, I'm restless. I can't sleep. I got hot, whatever.
That would be hot flash, night sweats.
This is going to be a funny more than episode.
What you think you do, sister. We're going to spill it all out right now.
All right, so let's dive in. Where do you want to start? You want to start with symptoms? Is that where you want to?
That's what I like pretty much.
Before you go into symptoms, I will say this stat, Lynn. I want to start here because people listening, I am, in all jokes aside, I am 41, and when we talked about having this episode, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know that I have a lot to offer because I've experienced a little bit, but the more I dove into it, studies show that premenopause can happen in 65% of most women starting at the late age of 30. Mm-hmm. But they just don't know that it's the pregame to menopause. And I think I've only associated hot flashes. That's my only, I think that's what my mom like embedded, like a hot flash. And we joke about, wait till you get night sweats and hot flashes. Mm-hmm. And I just associated that with like menopause. So this premenopause, the pregame, has never been something I was really aware of until I hit my 40s and people started talking a bit about it. So if you're listening and you're not 40 or you're going through denial like I am, and we go over some of these symptoms, it might be like, because I work with a bunch of young chickens. Mm-hmm. And one of my directors, she's, in her 30s, and she was saying some of these things. I was like, oh, you're definitely in premenopause. Kind of what you're doing to me right now.
Well, you need to know. You need to know because you think, and we talked about this on a previous episode, you think it's something else. There's something else wrong with me. Mm. Like I think I talked about this, maybe just me and you, not on here, but how I had this like sinus thing going on, and I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. He was going to do this procedure where he like stuck a balloon up, all this stuff. Well, come to find out, it was probably perimenopause. It was probably because allergies, randomly becoming allergic to things that you were never allergic to before, or the dreaded post-nasal drip.
Oh, it's a thing.
Though, I mean, all of that can be perimenopause, the start of it, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is not the pregame I want.
No.
I pregame in a whole different way.
This one is not fun.
Okay, so share with them, because I feel like you're more educated than me.
I'm a pro.
In this.
I don't like the way you're saying that.
Share with us some of your symptoms.
Keep throwing in that I'm older than her in any way possible.
For the record. Please tell everybody how old you are.
I am 44. I'm proud of it. At least I remember how old I am.
So true. All right, carry on.
So, I mean, I wrote down a lot of symptoms that were not just me, but ones I've heard from friends and other people. I had a hysterectomy before probably I could have hit some of these symptoms, but I know I've had several friends talk about having either like starting to have super heavy periods or very sporadic periods. So I know that's like a big one. Sometimes I think that's an indicator too that like you might need a
Good change in your
hysterectomy. Yeah,
change
but
in your
the
cycle.
change in your cycle and all that. So, but definitely brain fog,
Hmm.
which I think we attribute that a lot to motherhood.
Yeah.
And just that's my thing is like how much of this is just natural aging. I think we've attributed more of it to just we're naturally aging.
Mm.
Um, but I don't
Not
feel like
if
I'm
it's
not old
happening in your
enough.
30s. Like
I
if they're saying
know.
if it's late 30s,
Right.
we should not
That's
have to live with brain fog and
no.
your late 30s.
No. And but I think we do also have to look at our diets and stuff like
Mm,
that too.
agree.
But if you work out and you eat fairly well and then but you still can't remember crap like why you walked into a room. Or I will literally walk across the classroom and why did I walk over here? I have to go back to what I was doing for it to finally click with
Gosh.
what I even walked over there. So brain fog, not only hot flashes but cold flashes are a
Oh,
thing. And
I
I'm
didn't know
like,
that was.
I
I
think
say
I have
code. I
that.
say code all the time.
Well, do you ever get like this all of a sudden you're
Like a
just like
shiver.
shiver like you're
Hmm.
like chill bumps like all of a sudden you're
Yes.
just like super cold? The hot flashes are no joke.
I haven't experienced, I think maybe twice. But my husband says it was because he was laying next to me.
Of course he did.
So of course I can't have.
So what are hot flashes? What are the hots for our husbands? We don't know. But those are the it's the strangest thing. Like I will be I did it yesterday. We were having this retirement reception and I had worn shorts to school, walked into the cafeteria and it was freezing. I was
Mm.
freezing. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so the next thing I know is I'm about ready to start stripping off. Like eh, you just feel it. You feel it like it starts to
Mm.
come like rising up, and the next thing you know, like my ears will be red. And anyways, it's wild. It's wild. Anxiety,
Okay, anxiousness, I can see that.
overthink over when
Mm-mm.
you don't really have a reason to be.
Right, right.
So
Well, and I think paired with that, like, I think that's how you can look at emotionally asking yourself, like, am I less patient now? Like, are things I'm more anxious or have more anxiety around things that I used to not? Then that could not, I mean, that could be a hormonal shift
mhm,
and, the pregame.
yeah,
I'm going to call it the
the
pregame from
pregame,
here
the
on out.
pregame, um, the heart palpitations.
Mm,
I mean, which we talked a little bit about that. That that could level I mean your hormone levels and your estrogen, all that affects, it's like a domino. And so then it may throw off your magnesium levels, your potassium levels, your any of your electrolytes, all that. I think it's just like this whirlpool of things.
mm,
And so I did have the heart palpitations. I have talked about the magnesium
mm-hmm,
with that.
mm-hmm, yeah.
So if I can vouch for that, but that's just me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to give you advice. Um, Dizziness and nausea.
Interesting. It's funny that you say that, Christy, because my 41-year-old self have experienced a little bit more vertigo than I used to. I've always had struggles with vertigo, but there was I just turned 40. Just turned 40.
She is going to come to a big realization this episode, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
I'm refusing. But yes, no, that's an interesting point, an interesting symptom as I
Yeah.
am experiencing.
I mean, I can't say that I have like the nausea or anything, but I mean, do you find yourself nauseous for no reason?
Mm,
Like not because what you ate or
right.
not your time in the month or things like that.
You
But
know what? While you're reading these off and I'm thinking through this, and I think we kind of alluded this in a previous episode as well, as like the evolution of a woman's body, like
mhm,
going through puberty and the menstrual cycle and then preparing for a baby and then having a baby and then the aftermath of a baby. Some of these same symptoms, like I experienced when I was pregnant.
yes,
And so that should have been a trigger why women's health, we're not like wrapping our head around it. But all like brain fog, dizziness, nauseous, like all of that, because your body is changing to
Changing.
grow a
Yes.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to grow anything now, though.
No. It's trying to get rid of everything. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyways,
I
carry
need some
on.
more.
I'm
I
so
need some more. I need some more information about all this. Um. Um. Oh, fragile and brittle nails. See, I have a problem because um chemo does a lot of this to you, and because so I think the lines get blurred for me because is mine an aftermath of chemo? And we can go ahead and attribute thinning hair to that too. Um, or is it because I got thrown into perimenopause by shutting down my ovaries while I was doing chemo and then having the hysterectomy? Like, did I never have a change? I don't know. It's very the lines are
Lines get
very
blurred.
blurred for me as I'm like, is did it just go from one right into the other? Because, I lost my hair and my nails and I had really like strong, healthy nails. And now I can't, like, they're awful. My hair grew back, but it's a lot thinner. So I don't know, is that just because chemo did such a number on me, or is that because I went straight into
Some
perimenopause
perimenopause.
from that? I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
The lady that did my hair at that time, she said, Christy, about 80% of my clients who've had chemotherapy have their hair's grown back thicker, curly, all that stuff.
Oh,
So I'm yeah.
interesting.
So I'm like one of the
Lucky
lucky
ones.
20% that had worse hair after chemo. Um, we talked about weight gain. I mean, the things I could do to get rid of weight in my 20s and 30s
Doesn't phase you now.
no.
I read, and not to steal your thunder and all of your symptoms, but I did read, I want to say, I'm bad about quoting things, but in one of my trying to research, I want to say it was innerbalance.com. Anyways, it said the number one symptom, which is you have not listed yet, but like I think 72% of women experience it. So I'm gonna throw you a bone real quick and see if this is
Maybe on
something on your
my
list or if you've experienced it. I have not, for the record. But the number one symptom in the pregame is joint muscle pain.
I have heard, yeah, I've had joint pain, and yeah, I've heard of it. People saying
Gotcha.
that, or doctors saying that. I have not really experienced that. Um, I do try to work out
Yeah,
at
you're
least
very healthy and
through.
yeah.
Not very. I try on occasion, but I mean, and how much of that is like, do my knees hurt sometimes? Sometimes I don't know. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't feel like I could attribute that to.
Well, and I think it just goes back to the point of people will say, "Oh, you're just getting older." Like, "Oh, my shoulder
Yeah,
hurts. Man, my ankle. I woke up and my ankle hurts," or I'm having
yeah,
the. It's just I might have worked out or I might have exerted myself
yeah. Right,
yesterday, and then.
right.
But when I was 20 and I did those things, so they just they equate it. Is that I don't know
Yep,
if that's the right word that I'm using right now, but um to being older. You're just getting older.
right.
But it is one of the number one symptoms,
Yeah, I could
just for
see
the
that. There
record.
you go.
There you
Well,
go. You heard it
I
from
you
you
heard
heard
it
it
from
here.
the non perimenopause person over here. We've talked about the insomnia.
Oh, yeah.
The I will be so exhausted and I will lay down. I swear my eyes like pop open. So sometimes it's the falling asleep, and then sometimes it's the
Mhm.
waking up, and then your brain
Mhm.
starts
All
going.
mhm.
I
All
mean, I go dark. My
mm.
brain goes dark. And I'm like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, that's not, I am not a I'm an optimistic person. Like I don't, but that's the kind of things. It's like all these like I just think about all these. It's not good. So then you can't go back to sleep
Sleep,
because you've
right.
just keyed yourself up so much. And then I have gotten better though since taking the magnesium glycinate and the L-theanine is supposed to help with that. So
I will say here lately, so I started doing these patches. I swear by them, but the brand patch and there's a sleep patch. It's really the only thing. Like I was melatonin there for a while, worked, and then it stopped working. But these, I mean, I'll even wake up and I'll still have the like outline from work. Like they have a focus patch, they have an energy patch, they have a libido patch.
yeah,
I do all patches. I
all
will
the
wake up
patches,
and all my
stick
patches are
them
all
all.
over
Okay,
me.
yeah.
No, but really, the sleep patch has really helped me not just to get to sleep, but stay asleep. So I can really tell a difference. But if I'm gonna wake up, it's gonna be at 3 a.m. And like it's just a running joke. Even my kids,
Yeah.
and my husband now. Like, but I haven't done that in a really long
I
time.
was gonna say I don't feel like I have either. I mean, I'll wake up at the same time. I think sometimes that's our internal clock. If
Mm,
you do it a couple
mm,
of times, I feel like it just does. But I can usually
mm,
fall back asleep. I haven't. My mind hasn't spiraled
spiral.
on me lately. But I do. But like I feel like that's the whirlpool though. Like the anxiety and then the stress and then then you get the no sleep and
Mm.
then it's just like you can't get
You're
out
off
of
the hamster wheel.
yeah and we're all so different and we can all be lacking the different whatever in our bodies. Like I can't just say the magnesium is going to work for anybody
Right.
else. It worked for me because I do know that my body was low in that,
Mm.
and so I think that spiraled into other things. Um, but man, we just yeah. Anyways,
Well, and I think for actionable steps that someone can take, like if you're like are experiencing any of these symptoms, I think the best thing that I know what to do and what has helped me, and that's just tracking. And I do that with a lot of
Mhm.
things, but like if I'm tracking myself and tracking, okay, well, now sleep is a problem because I'm waking up 4 out of 5, 4
Yeah,
out of 5 weekday nights or whatever. Like if you can pinpoint, so you might see a first symptom and not think anything of it. Then you
right.
might like see another symptom like, oh, I got dizzy at work yesterday and not register. But
Yeah,
then a couple of months go by, and if you really were charting it and you realize like, man, I got dizzy 10 different
right,
times, right?
right.
So I really feel as though if you think that if any of these things that you're experiencing, I'm no doctor, and I'm not experiencing a lot of these things,
Just feel so
but chart
dumb.
them if you are,
Yeah, that's a great idea. I haven't
just to
thought about.
kind of see. And if you're going to the doctor, right? Like if you're
Yeah.
going to go talk to your doctor, then you have, sometimes I feel like for them to take us seriously, like data, like, listen, I've
Mhm.
done the work, and I'm not coming to you like, oh, occasionally. Like
Yeah.
I don't want it to be always, sometimes, occasionally, never,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like when I'm charting 2 months, 75% of the time I
Yeah.
am X, Y, and Z,
Right.
right?
Yes.
I think that would be helpful to understand if it's truly impacting your life.
Yes.
And I had a friend one time, and she's a nurse, and she's older, and I like to think all my friends are older. Maybe that's a strategy. But Cheryl, if you're listening, she always said like I was robbed 8 years of my life. Like no, I don't even know who I was in that 8 years of my life. And so like she's through it all, right?
Mhm.
But they say like these symptoms can last like 8 to 14 years. I don't want.
So, okay, so here's my thing. If this is perimenopause, if this is pregame, what's the game like?
Oh,
What happens after this?
I quit the team.
We quit. I mean, but that's where I keep going. Does it
Um,
get worse? Okay, and I've had some people in their not in their 40s, past their 40s saying, "Well, I'm in my 50s. Why you're talking about stuff in your 40s?" We're not trying to exclude anybody. And we may need some 50 plus year old friends to tell us what's going to come
what's up?
next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm a little scared.
I mean, obviously our body's going to every year, every decade, everything's going to shift, right? And I think sometimes part of the mindset we need to have as women is that we can't expect that our bodies are going to stay the same. We can't expect that there's not going to be a shift. But I feel as though we can better educate ourselves to understanding, okay, it's going to come whether we like it or not. We're going to have to go in the game.
Yep. Yep.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach.
We're going to have to do it. And so instead of fighting it or wishing and kind of getting almost kind of getting over the hump. So now I know it's coming for me, right? So how am I going to hit this? Like I'm stuck in this sports analogy. Like how am I going to hit the pitch? How am I going to hit the ball out of the park? Right, this curveball. So
it's knowing which one it is, because now you've got this laundry list of things, and so you don't know. That's the scary part. You're batting with a blindfold on,
and you might get hit and
you
knocked
might
out.
get hit in the face.
So true. Well, I did read, and I am trying to be better about this. So, is that women don't get enough, and the more we age, we don't get enough protein.
Yeah.
And so I can like I've seen a lot of that in reference of like trying to lose weight and build muscle mass. But I guess as our body is shifting and experiencing these things, and we go through the game of the menopause, bone density, all those things, muscle loss, all those things are going to happen. So there was a lot of suggestions that are saying like up your protein.
Up your protein.
That's so hard.
It is. It's very hard to get in the amount of protein, which is the reason why I need to lose weight. So then I'm don't have to get in as much protein.
Oh yeah, because then the
but that's So like the protein, the collagen, also the as we age, the digestive tract starts slowing down, which then leads to more of the inflammation and so like high protein, high fiber is what they say.
The things I never thought I would be talking about.
No.
But here's the point of why we really wanted to make this podcast happen. It's not that we're always talking about premenopause, the pregame, menopause, all things. But these are the conversations we're having around, when we're by the pool with our friends, having margs at the Mexican restaurant or at a coffee date. Like these are the group chats that we're sending memes to. Like, yep, got that. Yep. I see you. We kind of poke fun of it, but we're really sometimes, I don't know, in our friends, like we're sharing what we're trying to do. And that's really what this is. This is like maybe you're working so much that you don't have time to talk to somebody about.
Right.
So you may be hearing it for the first time, and we want to educate you. It's coming for you.
It is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not fun, but I do think the more we talk about it and educate ourselves, you can kind of figure out some things. And I don't know if we find a good doctor or like
women's
just
health
sharing,
has got to improve.
Yes.
It really does have to. If we can figure out what pregnant, like what women need when they're
pregnant and growing a human inside of them.
Yes, if we can figure that out, then we should prioritize the women that carry the babies.
Right.
Of what life looks like, later in life.
Yes.
And how to, and not just be on an antidepressant or, masking the symptoms. Let's figure out the root and the foundation and treat some of those things. And I think the conversation at least has somewhat started, I feel like, and maybe that is why social media can be great at sometimes, because a lot of the information that I gather and be like, oh, I didn't realize that, is through social media and somebody else sharing their story. And it's kind of the whole
that's
journey.
the whole point. Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Somebody was asking me, so what's your podcast about? I'm like, I don't really know. We're just trying to have conversations, real conversations about what it's like to be a woman.
Right. Well, and I think the biggest compliment, and I hope that we can kind of continue. We've had a couple of lengthy ones. We're trying our best to not
Yeah,
talk so
I
much.
know.
But we have a lot to say.
We do.
Um, the biggest compliment that I've had lately is one of them was your friends that you used to work with came up to me. She's like, I listen to y'all every Friday. And it's like I'm sitting around having coffee with you all. Like, and then one of my really great friends, she said that she's like, I feel, because she lives in Louisville. She was like, I feel like we're hanging out every Friday. And I was like, I love that feeling.
Yes.
And what's crazy to me is I've done a podcast before, and there's a lot of things like I go around and speak and share and stuff. I never I never thought I was doing it for the people that I'm close to, but like they're not really the ones I'm talking to, right?
Because we talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of comical for me to be like, they'll just come up and ask me something, and they're like, "Oh yeah, because you said it on your podcast or that TikTok that you." I'm like, "Yeah, I know," but I'm almost doing it for the women that I don't know.
Right.
Like to kind of do this journey with all the women.
Yeah.
Doing all the things.
All the things. We're going to say that at least once every episode.
Yeah.
All the things.
All right. Anything else that we didn't talk about that's on your long list of symptoms of the pregame? You know what? Let's get T-shirts made that says we're pre-gaming.
Pre-gaming. I love it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Welcome to the tailgate party.
No, I think we pretty much covered most of it. I know there are way more than what we have listed here, and everybody experiences different ones, and they might seem crazy and they might seem unbearable. So hopefully this helped at least know that we are going through some of them too.
Yeah. You're not alone. You're not crazy.
You're not crazy. Yeah.
All right, guys, until next time. See ya.
Bye.
All right, that's it for today's meeting of the Margarita Book Club.
Thanks for sitting with us and spilling the real for a little while.
If today's conversation sounded like a lot of your own thoughts, you're definitely not alone.
Follow us on social media at Spill the Real.
And come back next week for another round of Real Talk. Same book club, no reading required.